Now we head into social media trends. Joining us now in the studio is Ijeoma, Afia TV presenter, and of course, Pastor CC Emechebe, Afia TV sports show producer, and of course, presenter on set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, good morning, and welcome to the new week.
Good morning, Natalie. Good morning, Audrey.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
post-Valentine.
Happy post-Valentine. We had 2 United Nigeria flights were grounded. Is that true?
No, they were not grounded. We
So
just
what's
had a
the
problem.
truth?
That's a bed strike. It was a bed strike, right? And that could happen to just any aircraft.
So the 2 aircrafts were grounded because of the bird strikes?
Yeah, because we need
strikes,
to fix. We need to.
Were they grounded or were they not?
No, they were not grounded.
But the report said they were grounded.
Just a bed strike on them. And that could happen to any aircraft. Why am I even answering this question?
I was going to ask you why you defending them.
Yeah, because we understand the reports this morning said because of bird strikes, 2 of the aircrafts were grounded. So were they grounded or not?
They were grounded.
No, okay, I thought so.
They were back to operations.
Yeah. I mean, when you're asking what I'm asking Ijeoma, well, Ijeoma has a unique working relationship with United Nigeria Airlines. So wherever we see issues, we would address them to her as a de facto spokesperson on the sidelines.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How was your Valentine's? Like, did you spend it well?
It was great. It was great. Restful.
Oh, wow.
And great.
I was just at home sleeping.
I'm not sure.
I was.
If we took a tour of the town, I'm sure we would have heard something or seen something else.
Nah, that's a lie.
Okay.
Well, let's get straight into the stories we have for you today. Mr. Alex was trending over the week, I told you. Like I was even showing him, Mr. Alex, look at you. You're everyone X. Well, it was trending because of his opinion on the city boy movement, right? He made a couple of comments about it. And the streets of social media were not really into it. But yeah, let's take a look at what he said. Then we look at the comments and we digress with Mr. CC. Let's take a look.
The people calling out Obi Kubana and Zenko and all these guys, their parents were rooting for Abacha in the 90s. People forget so easily. We've forgotten about youth earnestly asked for Abacha. If you were here in the 90s, you would know that that's how politics works. You must have support groups from all parts of the country. Our people must stop vilifying people for making a choice about their political stance. A lot of people I know want to join the city boy movement. And what is wrong with it? What is wrong with supporting a sitting president? What is wrong with some people from Southeast rooting to be connected to the center? What has Igbo and Southeast gained by isolating themselves?
Well, that's the video of Mr. Alex on the AM show with you and Oji. When he said that, nobody knew it was going to go viral, but yeah, it did go viral. Well, let's take a look at the comments then. I get your opinion on this, Mr. CC. The first commenter says, you are talking rubbish. This is the same mentality that has caused Igbos to be marginalized. How can an entire country rule out Igbo presidency and you want Igbos to accept such? We should remain in servitude and allow other religions short to change us in propriety. The next comment says, very good question for those who reason and reflect. The next comment says, what have they gained by isolating themselves? This is not supposed to be a question. The next comment says, you are a clown and should be stoned. Well, that was too extreme. The next commenter says, what has Indibo gained in connecting to the center? Rochas Ngene, Obonaya, Ono, and Co. was the first to connect to the center. What did we gain from them? The center. Una get short memories, Sha. The next commenter says, Alex, at Alex Ogbodo1, you said a whole lot of nonsense. You'll be clowning to feel Kubana and his likes have to say in the East. Kubana that could not deliver for his brother. No one gives a damn about them. Nobody's holding you. You can join support groups, but be ready for the consequences. Well, these are a few of the comments we have on social media. Well,
Should we be coming from the village boys movement?
Well, we don't want it to, we don't want to talk about it from this angle because we are the news people, right? Mr. CC, as a sport person, tell me, you're like the neutral ground we have here right now.
Are you sure?
So.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
Okay, in all honesty, I always like to look at things from an objective standpoint, no matter what I do, because of the different positions I hold. And one thing I've checked is that most of the comments that the people have made have come from an emotional standpoint. They've been emotional about it. perhaps because they feel marginalized. And the truth of the matter is that any Igbo man that feels marginalized,
They feel or they are.
no, that's what I'm getting to. Every
Okay.
Igbo man that feels marginalized, in the grand scheme of things, has merit to that, that thought,
Yeah.
that feeling. But that notwithstanding, we're talking about politics here. I, for one, am non-partisan. I don't stand for anybody. I don't support any particular person unless the person is standing for values that I believe in, standing for what is right. I can only say, okay, this is what this person represents. Whether the person is from my tribe, and let me even make it very, very clear, I'm a highly detribalized Nigerian. I was born in Lagos, grew up there. I'm from Igbo land here, Anambra to be precise. But I always put values before tribe and ethnicity. I always do that. Now, having said that, Alex, our dear friend and the head of Alex Obodo, the head of the News and Current Affairs division here in Afia, is very, very correct in what he says in many respects because he's trying to put aside emotions. You have the right to support. That's the beauty of democracy. You have the right to support who you want to support. Now, the thing is this, in a pure democracy, that's when you talk about pushing this argument and saying, you know what, anybody can support who they want, but at the end of the day, we know how corrupt democracy has become in this part of the world. That's the truth, because in this case, the people have their say, but the government has their way. That's the problem that we're having. And I think that's what the Igbo people, especially those who are kicking against what he said, are clamoring for. They're saying that no matter what, the Igbo people have received the short end of the stick. So why shouldn't we join and then vilify and demonize the likes of Obi Kubana, the chief priest, and then Zenko and the rest of them who are Igbo men who should be supporting the cause of Ndibo, but instead they are pitching their tent with somebody who has not shown Ndibo the kind of love and recognition that they deserve. So I understand the angle they are coming from, but it's purely emotional. Let's reason this out.
I want to ask you this question, right?
Please go ahead.
So must you connect to the center to reap the dividends of democracy? There's time for politics, politicking, and there's time for governance. During elections, do your politicking and all that. After you've won the election, you face governance. So doesn't this tell you how deep divided Nigerians are? That you have to connect to the center, to the region, to the tribe, before you can access our national hot cake.
That's the sad reality of politics in Nigeria, because there's a difference. Somebody once said that there's a difference between politics and Nigerian politics. That's the sad reality we have right now, where we prioritize politics rather over governance. Governance should be the focus when it comes to winning the election, and then you secure power, you consolidate power, you then begin to govern, because that's the essence of governance. You govern, you lead, you make everybody across board reap the dividends of democracy. But if you keep on playing politics, and politics, they say, is a dirty game. Now, I said they say. I don't agree with that, because if you say politics is a dirty game, it needs to be sanitized. Somebody needs to come in there and then bring values and change the whole equation. Whatever that person's tribe is inconsequential. But the thing is this, when you talk about running for elections, running for public office, and then you're supporting so and so people from different areas and tribes, you have to look at these things from two angles. In politics, like I've said here several times, that politics, one of the simplest definitions of politics is power play. There is a play for power. Now, what you do with the power is entirely up to you. Whether you want to use that power for nefarious reasons or for good reasons to help better the lot of people in Nigeria moving forward. But it looks so sad, to be honest, because the optics are not very good for the likes of Obi Kubana and Zenko, in as much as they have the right to support who they want to support.
Right.
They also need to be ready for the backlash, because no matter how much we try to elevate reason and personal interest in politics, we cannot completely eradicate emotions. Emotions will run, and people are going to speak and talk. It's now left for you to defend your stance.
All right. So let me just chip in there, right? Now, I think Mr. Alex has given us the standard opinion. It's a democracy. Yes. Can you support who you want to support? Yes. Can you choose to be APC, PDP, ADC, or any other party? LP? Yes. But the problem here is that while people fulfill their roles to support even the sitting president, how far are they going to also satisfy the interest of the Igbos? Many people were upset with Chief Priest because of how he mentioned Nnamdi Kanu in the equation in his post. They said, why are you using our brother to say you want to be closer so that you can secure his release? What did you do before you joined this movement? So the reason for the backlash that they are receiving is because there are emerging concerns. Yes, we can go back to Abacha and talk about history, but there are fresh developments even today that make Igbos believe that they are not being really carried along, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at what's going on now with the market fire in Kano, the Senga market fire. Now, the VP Shetima is supposed to touch down today to commiserate with the victims. Did we see the VP in Lagos when the shops of Igbo traders were also gutted by fire? So these are the issues that people are taking into consideration. If anybody wants to support APC, by all means, do that. If you want to support ADC, by all means, do that. Mobilize support for APC, mobilize for ADC. But what is the ruling party? What is the sitting president doing to address these concerns? Why would you have to join the City Boy movement to liaise with the president to secure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when we still have the Sheikh Gumis?
Yeah.
So the concern here is multifaceted. Mr. Alex is not wrong. It's a democracy. Igbos should try to evolve, but also the ruling party should try to address the demands of these people so that they do not get pelted for making remarks like Mr. Alex has done.
Right. Well, thank you so much for the opinions that everybody has brought together. I believe that we should all support whoever we want to support. I mean, it's democracy, it's free, like what Mr. Alex said. But yeah, like you said, Natalie, the sitting president, the sitting party should also put in considerations what Ndibo are saying. We've been shouting, we don't ever get involved in anything. And there is actually reasons why we say that. So I hope they look into it. Well, let's go straight into the next story we have. Well, it was Valentine's for Enugu here as the governor commissioned the factory. Well, let's look at the
Why did you have to yell like that? It's higher factory.
Well, he said this is highlighting the Enugu project aim to create more job opportunity, boost innovation, and reforming the state and position it in a investment state. Yeah. So, well, this has sparked a couple of comments, outrage on social media. I don't know why, but let's take a look at the comments first and we'll get into the story. So the first commenter named Problematic says, I'm not an APC supporter, but kudos to you, you are working. The next comment says, well done, Mba, but defecting to APC is a no-no. The next comment says, Warehouse Governor, hope it is not like the roads you build and terminals that is already falling off. Some of the roads you build in my street 2 years now are not up to 2 years. Some are already having potholes. The next comment says, our tomorrow dawn land, Governor, next build an independent power plant that will be fired with coal and you will see Enugu flourish like never before. Next comment says, you cheated in 2023 governorship election. You rigged and stole power from the LP candidate. Mr. Electoral Fraudster, all this effort you are making will not amount to anything. You saying God will not crown your effort. Enugu people will suffer because of you. The next comment says, which should actually be the last one. It's a scam dressed up as hardworking governor with paid media misinformation network. This is a warehouse. Everything inside is not worth up to $1 million. Our leadership choice over the years have reflected a decline.
We're out of time, Ijeoma. We really have to call it today, but I'll quickly respond to this. You see, this is the kind of issue that Alex was trying to address.
Yes.
Exactly.
If you're going to, say certain things like this, you should have facts. You can't see a hair ICT factory come into your state and they're talking about producing the smart boards that the smart students would use and the tablets, and you're, saying it's a scam, it's a this. Now, that is blind criticism, right? So if we're going to feel, like I said, there should be things that you're hinting at, calls that you're making. I don't think it's fair for people to, say those things when all the while in Enugu, the state has been called a civil service state. Imagine the fresh jobs this hair factory would actually produce. So I think that there has to be a check. People need to also try to reflect on the changes that they've seen around, right? Thank you, Ijeoma, for your time. We're out of time. We do have to cross over to the business morning. Norma will lead you on the business roundup in the region over the next hour and 30 minutes, beginning top of the hour at 10 a.m. Remember, Afia TV will be broadcasting live from the landmark Nike Lake Resort. Come tomorrow at 8 a.m. So don't miss that special broadcast. Until we meet again, I remain your host, Natalie Uku.
I remain OG Nwachuku. Have a splendid week and week ahead. Bye for now.